How important is fresh, clean water when you RV? Hooking up this water system at a different campground every single day can be concerning, and you don't have to do that. You deserve good, fresh, clean drinking water, and that is what our show is all about today. This is the RV Life Podcast. I'm Dan Hunt with my incredible wife, Patti Hunt. She's a little under the weather today, so she didn't make it out here, but we're going to push through without her. We are live at the Florida RV SuperShow. I got it right for the first time all week. And it has just been an incredible show so far. We are in the Freightliner booth. We want to thank Freightliner and Jeff Sather, the president and CEO of Freightliner, for allowing us to be in this beautiful space. We don't have to be out there in the sun and the rain and everything that's been going on all week. We kind of have it for us. Now, Patti and I are full-time RVers. We're going on 3 years full-time. That's a lot of travel planning. That's a lot of gasoline. That's a lot of miles that we drive down the road. And it's also a lot of water that we drink. And we are so happy to know Keith and your wife, Barbara, because I got to tell you, you have improved our quality of life. And that is what it is all about. You can elevate your water clarity with Clear 2O's RV Universal Advanced Solid Carbon Water Filter. The innovative design uses solid carbon block made from natural, renewable coconut carbon, ensuring your water is not only clean, but it's eco-friendly. This powerful filter reduces iron. I can't say this next word. Manganese, chlorine, and other chemicals, while also tackling settlement like sand, salt, silt, and rust. It's perfect for RVs. It improves the taste, reduces clogs, and protects your appliances. Plus, it's very, very cost effective. The replacement filters are available on Amazon. They're available through your website, and they're also available at Walmart. How great is that? This is a top-notch water purification just for pennies a day. Don't settle for less. Visit clear20.com now and experience the difference of Clear 2O's advanced water filtration system. Clear, fresh water, it's your right. And all you have to do is have one of these little green filters in the back of your RV. Not the white ones, not the blue ones. You want the green ones, okay, guys? Well, make sure that you get the right thing here. Okay. That sound means it's time for today's Fun Fact. And Fun Fact is brought to you by Open Roads Resorts with 4 great locations, 3 in Montana, 1 in Idaho, and 1 in Texas. Patti and I were just at the Texas location. It was gorgeous. They have great big cement pads on every single spot. And our spot overlooked the lake that they have there. And the sunset that we saw in Texas was one of the most amazing sunsets we have ever seen. Okay, let's get to our fun fact. Over the last decade, yearly water consumption grew by how many percent? Anybody? Give me a number.
30%.
30%.
39.
39%. Close, but no cigar. It grew by 40% in the last year. And that means that Americans, believe this or not, drink about 47 gallons of water a year. Now, I think I personally drink more than that, but that's okay. So water is a very, very important thing. And, you know, it's just something that is essential. I'm reading a book right now by Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he says that our bodies are 98.999999999% water. Well, guess what? That means drinking water is very, very important. And you deserve to have great, great water. the RV Life Podcast. I'm your host, Dan Hunt, with my incredible wife, Patti Hunt. Our guest today, guess what? He was one of us. He was an RVer. That's right. He identified a major problem in the RV market, and he didn't just bitch about it. He did something about it, and that is what makes this man so incredible. He has designed and built a water purification system, and we're going to talk about his other product, Tank Fresh, over there in a few minutes. But he designed and built this water purification system that Patti and I have been using for the last 2 years. And I have to tell you, it works. The water tastes good. The water smells good. We were in a campground, and I'm not going to say where it was in the Orlando area, but we were in a campground in the Orlando area, and I couldn't get the water filter on the spigot because the spigot was broken outside. So, of course, Dan and I want to get things going. I just put the water on without the filter. And guess what? That water smelled so bad, and it tasted even worse. So I went out, I got my little nubby hose, and I put it on there, and I got it around to the right angle so we could get the water in. And the smell, completely gone. The taste, it was drinkable, and that's what's important to me. Now, he doesn't just build this. He continued to see a problem, okay? So he went to work on his brand new product, and that's in that big blue bottle right in front of us there. It's called Tank Fresh, and you can clean your freshwater tank in about an hour, and this is Patti's favorite part, without using bleach. No bleach. It cleans the tank, and then we have these Tank Fresh bottles on the side of it over there. They are like renewers. You put them into the tank every week or so, 2 weeks, whatever you feel comfortable with. And it all the water that you're getting put in the tank, it gets all the chemicals and helps it work. I got to tell you, it's a miracle, guys. It's a miracle right here on the RV Life Podcast. I got to tell you, it really, really, really works. And it has really changed what our quality of life is. It's changed our quality of life. So Patti loves the fact that it doesn't use bleach because she will not put bleach into her freshwater tank. And putting this stuff in, we just put it in. We left it there for about an hour. I'm a perfectionist kind of guy, so I drove the RV and I stopped and started and stuff just to get that water mixed up in there and make sure this stuff was doing its job. And then we drained the tank, and then we put new fresh water in the tank, and oh my God, what a difference. So, Keith, I want to welcome you to the RV Life Podcast. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
You know, we've known each other now for, about 2 years, maybe three, about 2 years. I think we met at the Hershey RV show a few years back. And I'll tell you what, it has just been a journey. So you are the president, CEO, and inventor of all of these products.
And floor sweeper and everything else that goes along with that.
Okay, so, you know, I just kind of want to hear this story from the horse's mouth. So tell me the story about that bad glass of water, maybe the fifth or sixth bad glass of water you had out on the road. And you said, you know what, I got to do something about this. This is ridiculous.
Well, we're from South Florida.
Okay.
And we've been in the water filtration business for a while, made water pitchers, etc. And when we decided...
Wait. Let's just, we're on radio here, so people can't see this. So we got to draw a picture with our voice. A water pitcher. You're talking about one of those pitchers, like a 1 gallon pitcher or so, that goes in your refrigerator.
That's right.
And the water goes through a filter in there. And then when you want to clean glass water, you go to the refrigerator, you take it out, you pour it in your RV Life cup, and you drink it like it's just wonderful, right?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Now, with that, we actually had a proprietary solid carbon block, but it was just for water pitchers. And we sold that for many years.
You still have them in your booth.
We still have them. We still sell them today, and it's a great product overall. But when we first got an RV, which was in 2016, we wanted to do like everyone else. We wanted to get our kids away from the video games, and we wanted to get them out and have them see what a tree actually is. So we started taking them out in our RV and going forward with. But when you're in state parks, which is what we mostly camp out, you have different types of water you're having to deal with, and all we could deal with it with is with our pitcher. So we bought what was available in the market. We bought the inline filter that you see everywhere and put it out there, but it didn't do anything for what we were trying to do, which was get rid of that rotten egg smell, which is a very prevalent problem overall. So we put it on. We found they clogged. We found they did all types of things, but they didn't take out any of those smells. It wasn't allowed. You couldn't drink the water, and just flat out couldn't drink the water where we were. Right. So I cut a filter in half just to try to understand what was inside this. And the first thing I came across was granular carbon. Granular carbon's a great carbon overall, but it doesn't do the higher levels of filtration. And so I already knew that from our pitcher and understanding that. So I knew if we could actually take our pitcher carbon filter and build that actually into an inline filter, we would be able to take care of all of this and be able to give you really good quality drinking water. So we made a prototype. We used it ourselves. Like everything, we came across other campers who were asking, what are you doing? How are you doing this? They tasted our water, and they were like, well, if you can do one for me, I'd like to have that too. So we thought about it, and we actually went and developed our own inline filter. This filter, particular one, the one I'm holding, is our green filter. We made it green because we wanted it to stand out. We wanted everybody to know that it was different than your granular carbon filter.
And it does stand out. And I have to tell you, I mean, you know, everybody that knows Dan knows I'm the ultimate salesman. I just go out and I talk to everybody. So I go around the RVs and I see when they have the blue and the white filter, and I knock on the door and I say, how's that working for you? and most people swear and complain about their water filter system. I don't swear and complain about my water filter system because I love this thing.
Well, granular carbon, again, it's a good system for what you use it for, but it takes, for carbon to remove contaminants, it needs to sit in the water for a while. It needs that residency time. It needs time to extract. So because of ours, all the water has to pass through the wall of the filter. That slows it down. You can then extract a lot more. So that's why we're rated for lead and mercury and all the other VOCs, et cetera. We can take out hydrogen sulfide, which is the rotten egg type of smell that you have. Where in the other filters, the water rushes through so fast that it doesn't really have time to pull out anything. So it does pull out chlorine usually, but that's really about it. So that's why you're not getting that level of performance. You have to go to a better technology to get the level of performance you can provide.
Okay, so now it's not just that. I'm going to ask you, what's your son's name again? I'm sorry.
Ryan.
Ryan, could you come up here and open that box for me and get the pre-filter out? So it's not only this filter. You took it a step further than that. You said, this still isn't working for my customers, for my people. And Ryan's having a hard time with that box over there, but that's okay. He's a college student, so he can figure it out, right?
Well, we came to this show for the first time, and that actually was in talking with different RVers that came in. They talked to us about what their experiences are. And then from there, that's led us to take those problems and start working on that. So most of the products that we have are actually addressing a problem that someone's come to the booth and talked to us about.
Okay, so what I'm holding in my hand to the studio audience, and I, we have Wes on the Move. They have Facebook, they've got YouTube, they've got Instagram. They have come out here today to help us out because Patty's a little under the weather, and take pictures and take video and all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to post this video on not only our social media, but you guys are going to post it on your social media as well. And Texas you all, America you all.
RV America you all.
RV America you all, they're here as well. We'll be hearing from them in a little while. But you can post it on your social media as well. So this is the pre-filter.
That's right.
Okay? So this right here goes into the hose outlet. So the water comes into here, and it goes into what we call a pre-filter. And then this filter right here goes in there, and it screws in nice and tight. Make sure you get it tight enough. And make sure you follow the arrows. You don't want to put it in the wrong way. So the water goes through the pre-filter, and that reason for this is the sand and the dirt and the silt and all that stuff I said earlier, right?
That's right. That's right.
And then so you got a base good water, and it comes down through the filter.
Yep. So now you have two stages of filtration. You have all of the particulates taken out, all the sediments and silts are taken out in the top portion. And then that leaves it for cleaner water to enter into your carbon filter. So it actually makes your carbon filter absorb more.
And now in the starter kit that this comes in, you have it in front of you over there.
Yeah, we include a 5-micron filter. The one you have in your hand is a 1-micron filter. We make both.
We're going to talk about microns later. We're getting into the weeds. And I don't have my teacher, Patti, here to explain it to everybody. Well, we're going to go into that. No, I'm talking about the flush system. Isn't that the backwash system right there? There we go.
Yep.
It comes with a backwash system. So if you notice that your water pressure is starting to go down a little bit, that's because you have stuff in your filter. So you need to backwash it and get it out of your filter. And that's what that little thing right there does. That's what that little thing right there does. And what's that other thing over on the other side? What's that?
So this is, again, we solve problems for people coming to our booth. So one of the problems people are doing is they use water softener, and they wanted to pre-filter prior to the water softener. So they were using an inline filter, competitive one, to go in. It doesn't really do much on pre-filtering. So we developed this, which is actually an adapter for our dirt guard.
Right.
And that allows it to actually be used as a standalone pre-filter. So now you can
use just this piece all by itself.
You can attach these two pieces. You insert that instead of a carbon filter, and now you can go straight into your softener. And this filter is actually washable and reusable. So it's intended to be backwashed, and it's intended to be actually scrubbed and continue to use it as long as it has flow. You can continue to use it. So it's not permanent. You will eventually have to replace it, but it lasts for a very long time.
It really, really does. I have to tell you, we've been using these products for just going on 2.5, 3 years right now. And I have to tell you, they work, they're easy. And if there's a problem, I pick up the phone and call Keith. And I want everybody that's listening to the RV Life podcast to know that my goal in life is not to solve your problem. But my goal in life is to bring people on my show that solve your problem. So everybody that comes on the RV Life podcast, they're solving problems. And this is a huge problem for every one of us in the RV lifestyle. It's just a huge, huge problem.
Well, we were concerned, just like ourselves, that you could get better quality water if you did canister-style systems. But we wanted to make an inline system for everybody to get equal quality. So we wanted to make sure that good quality water could be had in either a canister system or an inline system. You didn't have to suffer just because you didn't have the room on board to carry one of the bigger systems.
Okay, so this system, it's just incredible. And I need, I'll just put that trip right now. Let's move on to this product over here. And Patti's not here, so I'm allowed to walk around. When Patti's here, she does not let me walk around. But today, Patti's not here. I've got a little bit of wire, and I've got this product right here. It's Tank Fresh, and it's going to have an RV Life sticker on it. 1 second here. Open that sticker for me. Okay. Tank Fresh. This stuff is, I don't know, it's life-changing, this stuff is. Life-changing. You hear me out there in the Midway? Life-changing. Now, we are live, just so everybody can kind of get an idea. We are live at the Tampa RV Show recording this podcast, so it's live to tape. And there's a lot of noise going on. There's a guy back here mowing the lawn, and there's golf carts and hundreds of thousands of people walking by the Midway out here. Lots of food, lots of funnel cakes, lots of soda. And look at that. Look at that. Everybody that gets this product, I'm going to give this away today. I'm going to give this away for absolute free. Now, the guy that had the RV Life podcast shirt on just left, and he was going to be the winner because he had the RV Life shirt on. But we'll find a way to get rid of this. But 220, so Tank Fresh. Let's talk Tank Fresh. Where did the concept come from for this stuff?
It came from the people. We continue again made filters. You're solving people's filter systems, but they were coming and saying, "Well, what do I do about my fresh water tank?" And so for a few years, I had to say, "Well, nothing. All you can do is bleach because that's what everybody goes to use." But I felt bad about that. I didn't like using bleach. I know it's bad for the seals. I know it can't go through my hot water system. I know these various different things, and it just was something that was difficult to mess with. So we just had so many people asking about it. We said we have to start exploring this, and we need to bring out something that actually could freshen your tank. And so we developed this, and we wanted to get bleach free. We wanted to stay away from bleach and stay away from everything. So we developed a sanitization system that's based on ammonia. It's safe for your seals, and it's also able to put through and use in your hot water system. You don't have to bypass it anymore. And so this allows you to do it. And one of the better things about it is it works in 1 hour. So with 1 hour, you can sanitize your system, drop your tank, flush out your system, and your tank is now good and clean and ready to go. And then we made 2 separate products that work along with it. Because once you sanitize your tank's clean, the lines are clean. But the second you add more water, that water is going to come in from a source that you're not familiar with, perhaps. So you're now bringing something back into your tank. You don't want anything to grow in your tank. You just cleaned it. So we made a freshener, which is actually a salt-based product. So it's actually perfectly potable. If you're familiar with chlorine-based pools, they use chlorine.
Okay, wait. Let's slow down. That word might be a little too big of a word for the RV Life podcast listeners, and it's definitely too big of a word for Dan. What does potable mean?
Potable means drinkable.
Drinkable.
So this is intended that you add it to your freshwater tank. It's tasteless, colorless, and odorless. You won't even know it's in there unless you knew that you actually poured it in.
Right.
And it's intended to guard your water during the time for up to 90 days. So for up to 90 days, you're not going to have any growth of any kind of problems in your water.
Unless you're like me and run out of fresh water all the time.
Well, and when you add back in, you just put a little bit more in. It's 1 ounce per 20 gallons, so a bottle lasts you a pretty long time.
Pretty long time, okay.
It keeps it clean.
Okay. So you were so nice in saying that I could give the sample products away today to our live audience. Now, I had a gentleman, I'm going to see if I'm going to go back. Mark, right? Mark. Our Journey in Miles. So he's another, YouTube channel that Patti and I have been following and watching forever. And Mark, I was going to give this to you because you are wearing the RV Life shirt, RV Life podcast shirt.
That's actually the exact thing I wanted.
Well, I'm happy to say that I'm not going to give it to you. I'm going to give you this because you walked away when I was ready to give it out. No, I'm not going to do that to you. But here
Thank you.
You can take both of those. And I'll tell you what, thank you so much for journeying with confidence with RV Life Pro and being a listener of the RV Life podcast and part of our studio audience here today. Oh, wait, we got one more. This one's not the same thing, though.
No, it's not. It's actually a higher concentration for tank shock. So if you're familiar, if you have a swimming pool, sometimes you have to open up the pool, you shock the pool.
Right.
So this works the exact same way. You shock your water. If you have ever problems where you get a bad smell or odor or issue or something you're fighting in your tank, you can use the shock. Instead of sanitizing all over again, you can use the shock to treat that.
Right.
And it'll overwhelm whatever problem that you're having.
Okay. So here on the RV Life podcast, we aim to please. So what I want to do right now is shock the audience. No, I'm just kidding. What year is your RV?
2014.
2014. What year is yours?
2021.
2021. The rich guy over here. How about you guys? Oh, you guys are getting.
I'm with him.
You're with him. You're with him.
Her.
You have a 22. And you have a 22. I have an 02, so I'm going to keep this product for me. No, go ahead. Let's give you the whole system out there. Thank you so much for being here today. We really, really do appreciate it. Now, while we're talking so much about one of my, now, by the way, and just so everybody knows, not just that everybody in this room, but everybody on the listening audience, Clear 2.0 has been a sponsor of the RV Led podcast since day one. Okay. And to me, that's just incredible for a small company. So thank you so much for being a sponsor. Thank you for giving away some product to our listeners here. We truly, truly appreciate it. But now we do have other sponsors too. And this sponsor, the Open Roads Fuel Card, they were here yesterday live, and we talked about them. You still got a water from yesterday. Okay. The Open Roads Fuel Card, it's a free service that has saved Patti and I hundreds of dollars this year alone to buy diesel at truck stops and utilize the power of group purchases to save money. As we're driving down the road, Patti gets on that app, and she is playing gas station roulette because she finds the best price on the app as we're driving down the road, what the next best price is. It might be over the next state line because the taxes are better. But we save, I'm going to say we save about 80 cents a gallon. Now, yesterday, Ryan Berry, the owner of Open Roads Fuel Card, said across the entire system that they have, they average saving 48 cents a gallon on diesel fuel. I don't know about you, but my Monaco, 2002 Monaco Class A, gets about 6 miles to the gallon. So everybody can use that. And then, you look out on that big Freightliner chassis out there, that's got a 150-gallon tank. You want to go and fill that thing up, that's a lot of money. Saving 50 cents a gallon is a great thing for everyone. Open Roads Fuel Card, it's free. And it just sets up to your bank account. And then you use that credit card and boom. Okay, they are here at the show. For those of you that are here, they're here at the show. They're in the building right over here. If you're at the show, you want to stop by and say hello to Gina and Tara and her team. If you like saving money, you cannot afford not to have the Open Roads Fuel Card. Now, when we're talking about money, we're talking in decimal points. When you're talking about microns, you're talking about decimal points. As a matter of fact, this particular filter that I have in my hand right now, it's got a 1 micron filter. Now, this particular filter over here is a 5 micron filter. Okay, so this one, I'm going to say is not as good as this one. It's not like milk, right? The 1% is better.
It's a balancing act. One has higher flow, and one is tighter, so it actually takes out more contaminants.
So I need both of these, and I need to send Patti out, change the filter when I'm about to take a shower,
That's right.
and then switch it back when I'm going to brush my teeth.
That's
Okay.
right. We actually make both because for some people it's important that flow is really high, and so therefore we made a higher flow filter. It's a 5 micron, which is a very good micron level. A micron is a millionth of a meter, so just tell you how small we're talking about. The human hair is somewhere between 35 and 50. Not mine. Mine are not there. But
Okay, you have to have hair to make that one work.
exactly. But somewhere between 35 and 50 microns. So you shows you how small a micron is. So when we're dealing with 5, it's very, very small, and 1 is 5 times smaller.
Right. Well, that's really good. So if you're drinking 5 micron filtered water, you're still getting a lot of stuff.
The particulates can come through, but with our filters, because they're solid carbon block, the absorption rates are about the same on both. So when you're talking about filters, there is blocking, micron, and there's also the chemical removal. So the chemical removal is really what the taste and odor issues that you're dealing with. So those aren't really protected by micron at all. So you have to have 2 separate systems in a filter. And now you know more about a filter than you wanted to know.
That's right. I do know that the 5 is not as good as the 1.
In
So
regards to particulates.
you're going to die faster if you drink your whole life with 5. Here, you can have this one. No, I'm just playing around being good humored. But I gave somebody in the audience a 5 micron filter, which will work great for them and taste water. Their water will taste good. Everything will be good. So that's a great system to have. However, it's not as good as mine. Keith, that leads me to a question, and it's a question that a lot of people have asked me. Patti and I host people around a campfire, and we just talk about their life and their life experience, right? Get my stories and all that kind of stuff. One of the biggest things that I get asked literally all the time is, why is campground water so bad?
Yeah, there's a couple of reasons why. Because where they naturally are located is quite often a distance from a city center and out on the outskirts of town. So if they're on a public water supply, which is not that usual, quite often they're on a well supply. But if they're on a public water supply, the infrastructure that it has to travel through just to get there travels through pipes that were put in perhaps in the 1950s. You're dealing with an older infrastructure. And even though it left the water treatment facility clean, it had to travel through all of those pipes for all that period of time. So what comes out the other end is actually all that you have to travel through. So we've always believed that you should filter your water because you can control the quality of your water through the filter that you use. Right. So you don't have to worry about if they do it right, come in right, to do it yourself and know the quality that you're going to get. Now, when they're on a well system, there are campgrounds that do a very good job on wells overall, but they treat their well water and they process their well water before you get it. Those are usually the ones you don't have the problems with. But there is also ones that don't have the money or they don't have the time to be able to do that. And so you're getting almost straight well water. So when you have high well water, you're getting a lot of particulates in it. You're getting a lot of things that are coming up from there. And you want to even filter your water, take out all of those things and keep them out of your glass.
Okay. Now let's talk about the next problem that people have. Why do campgrounds have high pressure, then low pressure, then high pressure, then low pressure? Now I have a flow regulator that I put on mine, so it kind of evens it out at 30 psi. But water pressure, and while we're talking about that, does that water pressure, in that 5 micron filter, or no, this one is the one that has less flow. So the 1 micron filter. So if I put this on and I get really low pressure coming through this, if the campground has higher pressure, is that going to affect this? Is it going to break it in any way? Or
well, everything, even your rigs are rated at 60 psi. So all of our products are rated to 60 psi. So you really shouldn't go above that, which is why we always recommend pressure regulator regardless.
And most RVs these days are using that PEC, the PEC whole tubing inside, and those are rated at like 55 psi.
That's right.
Right? You have
We do 55.
You have that
Yeah.
PEC. How about you guys? You have the PEC fusing? No? You have old copper wire? You got a nice old unit, don't you? We don't have anything yet. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are here going to give away a brand new RV. I'm just kidding. All right, so
you do need to have some type of pressure regulator just to prevent that. So you ask the question of why. And whenever you have a campground and you have however many, whether it's 50 or 100 or 200 sites, when everybody's trying to use that water, you need a lot of high pressure to be able to fill those pipes and get the water to everybody that they need. But when they're all using it, you have to have a lot of push on the water to be able to make that happen. When all of those people on Sunday morning at 11 o'clock have to get out of there and they all leave that site, and now all of a sudden the requirement is a lot less. If they have not adjusted their pressure, the pressure is going to go through the roof.
Okay.
So that's why you need to make sure. You may have very low water pressure if everybody's there. Following Friday or whatever it may be that you get to the next campsite, if it's empty, all of a sudden that pressure may be very high. So you have to be careful. That's why you need a pressure regulator.
Now, something that a lot of people don't know, we see water towers all over the place. And I've always wondered, why the hell do we want to take good water and put it 100 feet up in the air on the top of the tower and let the sun bake it all day? It didn't make sense to Dan. Things have to make sense to Dan. So the world, according to Dan, water towers should be gone. But the world, according to Keith, you have that water up there because that's where the pressure is coming from.
That's right. That column of water, that a bolt of water pushing down on that column that comes down is providing the pressure to you at your campsite overall.
Okay. Well,
Cheaper than the electricity.
yeah.
Pumps everywhere.
And it reminds me of waterfalls and going to Hawaii and going to waterfalls. You go under a little waterfall and then it comes down and feels really good. So you go into the next pond down, but that waterfall is 5 times as high. And you think, oh, this isn't going to hurt. I can do this. You walk right into it and knock it out. So you don't want to do that. Well, it's all about experience. It's all about being out on the road. And our next sponsor is really, really good at what they do.
The most important part of your RV is the roof. If your roof leaks, your trip and your RV get ruined. You can take it to a dealership or service center to be maintained at their expensive rates. Or you can maintain it yourself over a weekend for a fraction of the cost. Liquid Rubber RV roof products will keep you dry and leak-free. Visit shopliquidrubber.com/RVLife. Use coupon code RVLifePod15 to save 15%. That's shopliquidrubber.com/RVLife.
National Indoor RV Centers with over 1,000 motorhomes available across multiple locations. National Indoor RV Centers continues to provide an outstanding hassle-free motorhome ownership experience. National Indoor is the #1 Newmar dealer in the nation and also features brands like Integra, Winnebago, and much more. Visit NIRVC.com and become a part of the National Indoor RV Centers family.
National Indoor RV Centers. Brett Davis, Angie Morrell, they are incredible, incredible people. You know what? You were at an event with me last night.
Yeah.
Why don't you come up to the microphone and talk to us about it? First of all, tell me who you are. Tell our listeners who you are and your channel.
I'm Tom, and my wife is Stacy, and we are RV America, y'all. You can follow us on YouTube. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X. Just about all the social medias. We're listed as RV America, y'all. We've been on the road 5.5 years.
Now, you changed your guys' name.
Yes, we
It used to
did.
be RV Texas, y'all.
We did.
When
We
I
did.
first watched you, I was like, y'all, I'm from Los Angeles, so this you all thing doesn't work for me.
Yeah, well, we were traveling all over the country full time, and people were a little bit confused while we were doing videos in Colorado and everywhere else and not Texas. Then they're going, wait, you're RV Texas, y'all. What are you doing out of the state of Texas? Well, I mean, we're going to travel all over the country. It's a great country. So to avoid the confusion, we changed it to RV America, y'all. Now, you can take us out of Texas, but you can't take the Texas out of us.
Well, I can see that. You know, when you Texas people, not just you, but Jeannie yesterday, she is from Texas. I have to listen when you guys are talking because I got to tell you, it's like you're talking. It's just like going to England. You know, they speak English there, but it's not my English.
Yeah.
Now, wait a second. I'm from Florida.
Well, I grew up in Texas too.
Yeah, no, and we have a website called RVAmericaYall.com that brings all of our content and stuff together.
And just so if you're walking down a trail and you're listening to this podcast, I will have Patti, even though she's not with us today. You can see there's an empty seat over there because Patty's not with us. But I'll put the links to all of your social media in that area.
Well, thank you very much. We
So now we're talking about
National Indoor.
Brett and his team. Tell me, you know, people sometimes think that I'm just an over person and I just over talk about National Indoor because I can't say enough about these people.
We totally agree. We met Angie and Brett back in, I think, 2014 when they just had the one location.
We were
And
just at that location.
yeah,
That was
close to Dallas. And they told us about these grand plans to have them all over the country and everything. And we're like, oh, man, that really sounds great. But Brett's done every single thing he was going to do, and he's done it. He's a man of integrity. When he tells you he's going to do something, he does. They're both. Angie is wonderful. You see her on those videos all the time.
She does a great job.
Oh, my gosh, the best RV tours I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Including myself. We used to do RV tours, but Angie blows us away.
Yes, she's very, very good.
Yeah, and she's she's just a wonderful person. Both of them are.
Just the one thing I have to say, if you're going to sit down and watch an Angie tour of an RV, any RV, it doesn't matter if it's a 10-foot RV or a 45-foot RV, if you're going to sit down and watch one of her videos, make sure you have some time. Because that girl can talk.
Oh, yeah. You better have a pot of coffee and some popcorn. Because it's not going to be a 5-minute video.
Get your peas together. Your pot of coffee and here's some popcorn.
Yeah.
Tell me one other thing about National Indoor that you really like.
Well, I mean, I like that as a full-timer.
Mm-hmm.
They have, when you bring your rig in to get worked on, they have a campground that you can stay in it while you're getting your rig done. So during the day, it goes in and they have wonderful customer lounges that you can stay in during the day. They're pet friendly too. We have both a cat and a dog, and they let them both in there. And they usually pop popcorn too, which I love, and so that the experience, even when because you're going to need service, let's face it, everybody's going to need service, and they do a phenomenal job with their service, and it's comfortable. You don't need a place to stay. You don't have to get in a hotel unless they're doing something that they, have to have you out of the coach. But for the most part, you get to stay in your coach while it gets fixed, and that's perfect for us.
It really is. And those campgrounds, I went into one of their major facilities. So we were in the Manassas store where they're just building the campground part. We went into Texas and it was like going into Disneyland. It was incredible. Yeah. I mean, they've got everything there, everything. And it doesn't matter where you're going there, you're going to stand in a line to get to the vending machine because there's so many people there. It's just like, an industrial center. I just can't.
And we bought from them. We bought our 21 New Air. We've got a 21 New Air. We call her Freedom. She's red, white, and blue. So if you see us out there, you know it's us. We got it from Angie and in there in Dallas, and the buying experience was awesome. Totally awesome.
Yeah, the experience that from A to Z, Patti and I know you and I have talked about it, but Patti and I are in the process of looking for a newer RV. This 2002 held together with paper clips and duct tape.
Yeah.
But we're in that process of working with Angie and going through things. And she's, when you know her as a person, you look at her and you say, oh, well, she's a salesperson. She's just going to be boom, boom, boom. But when you get into the sales process with her, it is just not that way. She becomes your friend.
Yes.
And we just talk about things. She's like, well, I do this over here on mine. And, it's just a really, really incredible experience.
She helped us design our coach because we were able to order it from the factory. So we actually even filmed a video with Angie designing our coach. So it was pretty fun.
I'm going to go to a different YouTube channel. And there's a guy that goes around and walks and knocks on these rigs like you have and says, what the hell do you do for a living to be able to afford this rig?
Well, we had our own business before. And before we went full time, we sold our home, everything we owned, and our business. So we could have the money to afford this lifestyle. But we love YouTube. We make a little bit of money on YouTube and stuff, but that's not what.
Yeah.
We're semi-retired. I mean, we did this to be semi-retired, but we love doing the YouTube. We love meeting up with folks just like yourself and just the RV lifestyle in general.
Well, I don't know about you, but for me, my life, I was a director producer. And I have to tell you that now that I'm full-time RVer and a YouTube channel and a podcast, I work harder today than I did when I worked in my full-time job. So I can't say that I'm retired. I got to tell you, I literally, if I'm not recording something or writing a script or doing something like that, I'm editing. And it just never, ever, ever stops.
Oh, that's true. That's true. We have a podcast as well. I didn't even mention that.
You have a podcast too?
Yeah. RV America, y'all.
RV America, y'all.
Yeah.
And how do you spell that? Y'all.
YALL.
Okay, I am deep in the South, and it is cold deep in the South.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move along with our script right now, and this sound, that is the air horn on my 2002 Monaco. That's the only thing that still works perfect. That sound means it's time for today's question of the week, brought to you by Open Roads Innovative Tolling. I don't know if you have seen this. I know I had it out a couple days ago. I think you were at the influencers event too.
We didn't go.
Oh, you didn't
no,
go
we
to that?
weren't there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is a toll transponder that goes on the window of your RV, and it works in all 48 states. And not only as a banjo band is walking by as we're talking. Only in the South can you have a guy playing a banjo walking through with speakers while I'm trying to do a podcast.
That's hilarious.
So this is a toll transponder. It goes on your window. Works in all 48 states.
Wow.
But Patti, the best part of this thing is it's only $24 a year. But the best part of it is they have a concierge service. So you are assigned a customer service person. So we pick up the phone if we have a problem and we call our customer service person. And if we had gotten a toll because I'm going too fast through the tolls or the thing didn't read or whatever, we just went through your lovely state of Texas and have over $60 in fines from Texas.
Yeah.
Because our transponder, not this one, the one that we had before we got this one,
Right.
the Easy Pass, didn't work in Texas.
Oh, no.
So we have $60 in fines. Well, if you get a fine or a toll, that concierge person, they call the state and they deal with it for you. No more calling 1-800, blah, 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 blah. Then hit 2, then hit 7, then hit 4, then hit 3. I can't remember. There's so many hits you got to hit. It's just ridiculous. But I'll tell you what, it is really a great, great thing.
And who makes it? Open Roads?
Open Roads is the exclusive marketing agent for it. It's called Innovative Toll Solution by Open Roads. So they are putting this thing out there, and it works great. Okay, that sound meant it was time for today's question of the week. And I've got you sitting at a microphone, so I'm going to put you right on the spot right now. I need you to ask Keith and I a question about RVing.
Yeah, well,
preferably about.
Yeah, no. I think an issue that we've had, Berkey's went out of business. Berkey went out of business, and a lot of people know they were a water filtration system. That a lot of RV, we used it, and a lot of folks that follow us bought them, but they went out of business. So I'm wondering, in a boondocking type situation, what is obviously, I think you already answered the question by some of your products here, but in a boondocking situation, how can you make sure that your fresh water is fresh and it's safe to drink?
Okay, wait. I got you off there. Okay. Let me answer the first part of that. You got to be rich like you and have a 150-gallon fresh water tank. Do you still have that product I gave you?
Yes, we do. No, it's being delivered by we're even richer than them.
You have a child/slave that takes stuff back for you. Okay, there you go. Okay, so having that 150 gallons of water, Patti and I have actually boondocked for a whole week. We were at the Reno Air Show, and we were doing television appearances every single day. So my lovely wife, has to shower and wash her hair every single morning. So we had to stretch those drops of water as far as we possibly can. So in a boondocking situation, this is nothing.
Right.
It's a really good paperweight.
Yeah.
That's right, because you're going to be working off your tank. So
that's right.
It's good for what you put water into your tank, but then you need to keep that water in your tank fresh.
Right.
So the freshener we talked about earlier, just by adding that to your tank, and again, it's tasteless and odorless. You're not going to even know it's there, and it's potable, so it means that you can drink it. The salt-based system is perfectly fine to be drank, and that's going to give you clean water. You're not going to worry about anything going on. You're not going to worry about that tank, water getting to the point where you don't want to drink it. So it'll be fresh. You can just drink it during that period of time. And as long as you maintain that sanitizing system and keep your tank clean, that water will be good to go for as long as you can boondock off that water.
Wow. And you said one of the products was good for up to 90 days.
Up to 90 days. Yep. And then you just
that's
retreat
the
it.
freshener. That's
The freshener. Yeah.
Yep. And then if you need to, retreat it after that. So it's 1 ounce for 20 gallons. So I'll be honest with you, it doesn't take very much, but it's going to keep your water good, clean, and fresh to taste.
I'll tell you what. I got a bottle of the big blue.
Right.
I always refer to it for my wife. Said, "Where's that Windex stuff?" Because it looks like a big bottle of Windex, but I got that about a year ago, and from these guys, and I got one of the littler bottles of the Tank Fresh, and we are still working in it.
Wow.
Now I don't put the freshener stuff. I have not put it in. I'm like, Patty, where is that little clear bottle of stuff that Keith gave you? And Patty said, I don't know. You put it away. And I said, no, I didn't. You put it away. So we'll find it at some point here. But I just can't say enough about the Windex product, the blue product,
The sanitizer.
the sanitizer. I mean, we put that in our RV, and it literally was life changing. I mean, it literally was life changing.
Well, we need to get over to your booth.
And Meyer booth. We'll be happy to talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I got you started. I gave you
The 5.
the 5.
So how much of the blue product do you have to put in each time you do a treatment, and do you taste it?
How much of the blue product do you have to put in each time, and do you taste it?
So
Don't drink it.
it's
So
1 gallon.
let's say I'm going to do it right. I'm going to completely dump my water tank like I do now, and I put bleach in, and then no matter what I do, I taste it for a while, and it bothers my wife. It doesn't bother me so much. And if I start using the blue product, I totally empty my tank, and I'm going to put in 105 gallons or 100 gallons. What would
Okay.
be the dosage?
So the first thing I'm going to say is you're not from Texas, right?
No.
Okay. Read the directions. I wasn't going to say that if you were from Texas, because I know that they can't read. They need to go to a YouTube channel like Texas Law. And they explain everything for you. Okay, but so the first thing is, if you want to dump all your water out, so starting right today, you have probably 100 gallons. Or let's say your tank is full right now. If you want to dump it all out, you could do that, but I don't think you need to, right, Keith?
Well, you don't. You can go ahead and just take that 1 gallon for your 100-gallon tank. It's going to take 1 gallon to 100 gallons.
Okay.
So just go ahead and put that in. The objective is to get that water to touch the top of the tank,
Right.
to run it through your pump, to run it through all of your fixtures, run it through the hot water side and the cold water side. Don't turn the hot water system on, but run it through both sides and let it sit for an hour.
Wait, time out. I have an instant hot water system.
Perfectly safe.
Okay, but when I did it, I let it run through and then kicked into it.
Yeah, you don't want to heat the water.
Okay.
But it's fine to run it through your hot water side. It's not caustic to your hot water system. So you can go ahead and put it through your hot water tank or put it through your Insta Hot. Just don't heat the water. It's not necessary. Okay, so turn off the Insta Hot, but let it go through that side of your tank. So open both your hot water spigot and your cold water spigot and let it come through. So you want to get all your pipes, all your fittings, all your fixtures, everything, including your toilet, do everything. Let it sit for an hour, and then dump your tank. Okay, it's biodegradable, so it's perfectly fine. And then you're going to refill your tank with about 10 gallons of water, just enough that you can flush all your lines. So you want to flush all your lines and go ahead and flush those out. And so now you have a perfectly sanitized system. It's okay to go ahead and fill back up. You're not going to have that bleach taste or odor or anything like that to deal with. You'll see that we did have a slight fragrance so that you can actually have some level of feedback on that. But when you bring in your new fresh water, everything will be clean. And then once you pour in your freshener after that to treat that water, it'll keep it clean.
Actually, you do need
Absolutely.
the feedback that it actually came out your faucet when you're doing it, so that's
Yeah,
good.
right. We put a scent in so you can smell it. So you don't have that terrible bleach smell. You have a more of a fresh scent that you can smell. And then in addition to that, we did make it blue. And the reason we made it blue is so you can see a slight tint in the water as well.
Okay, so the RV Life podcast just would not be the RV Life podcast if we didn't have Patti's voice in here. So this next commercial is voiced by my incredible wife, Patti Hunt.
When traveling in your RV, how do you navigate? Do you use a paper map, a GPS, or do you use Google Maps? Our sponsor, RV Trip Wizard, has the solution, and it just works.
It just works. I say I do not move my RV 1 inch without first putting in the RV Life Trip Wizard. It's just so important because you could have low bridges, you could have heavy bridges. We were in Texas and we went into these friends' house in Texas again. Everything's in Texas. All my problems are in Texas. Anyway, we're going to the neighborhood and they live in a area, I guess it's kind of like a moat around their community. And the bridge said 5 tons. Oops. Yeah, I'm a 40,000 pound Class A. So I stop and I'm sitting there at the corner and I'm like, I'm not going over that bridge. And the fire station was right across the street. So the captain came out and talked to us and said, we go over there all the time. So you go ahead. You're going to stay at some people. So we went ahead and went over. And I figured, I didn't even have to call 911 because he was there.
He's there.
Now, I'm going to tell a little quick story about when we first bought our RV. We bought our RV in Colorado Springs, Colorado, from a gentleman that was a colonel in the United States Air Force. He was the commandant of the Air Force Academy. So I knew this unit was well taken care of. But this particular year, when we bought, it happened to be the coldest day in Colorado's history at negative 18 degrees. So he had a great idea. He went out to his RV and he poured a bottle of that antifreeze under the freshwater tank. And that stuff smells and tastes terrible. And I swear to God, it takes forever and 3 days to get that smell and taste out of your tank. I wish, damn it, Keith, I wish you would have created this product 3 years earlier. Because we did the bleach thing and it took forever. You empty the tank, put the bleach in, you let it slosh around in there, then you empty the tank again and you put more bleach in, you let it slosh. You don't have to do any of that with this. I did drive it about 30 miles, and I did purposely throw the brakes on and start it up real fast so that water would slush around in there and get all the areas of the tank. But I will tell you that when we emptied it out and then we took fresh water into that tank, you may as well have been drinking a bottle of sparkless water. It was that good. So I just want to say that part of this really, really, really works. Okay, I just want to give a shout out to Wes on the Move because you guys came out and helped us out. Not only is Patti not here today, but the person that we hired, our social media person, they had a problem getting to the Tampa. They're not even at the Tampa SuperShow. So we were at an event with them and we put a little note out on the internet and said we could use some help. And they came out. And that just is a testament to me to the RV community. We are a community. We do help each other out. We do hang out with each other. We go to dinners. What a life you and I have.
Yes.
We get to travel around the country and go to all these RV manufacturers and all of these RV clubs and dealerships, and they feed us and entertain us. We had a great time last night.
Yeah.
I don't think I wanted to be the guy getting knife thrown at me.
No.
But at the same time, we had a lot of fun. There was a comedian, a juggler, and a knife thrower there. And it was just a lot of fun at the AIM event last night, which
Yes.
means
All inclusive motorhome club.
Chuck and his team do an incredible job.
Yes, they do.
Putting on a show for everybody. And, I mean, think about it. Last night you had Jeff Sadler, the president of Freightliner Corporation. Okay. You had Casey Tubman, the president of Newmar Corporation, which you got good. And we had Ken Waller, who's the president of Jayco and Integra.
Yeah.
The whole thing. So, I mean, we had presidents, we had CEOs, we had all kinds of people, and we had a really, really good time.
Yep.
So we love this lifestyle, you guys.
Oh, absolutely. We see no end in sight for sure.
Yeah. Well, you're getting kind of old. The gray's coming in on here, and the gray's coming in up here.
You guys forgot the president and CEO of National Indoor.
Oh,
yep.
You know what? He was sitting at my table too.
Yeah.
Brett Davis, the president and CEO of National Indoor, was there with us.
Great guy.
And a sponsor of the RV Life podcast. What a great, great person he is. Well, Keith, it is always incredible to have you with us, to have your son/slave with you here. He came and he opened boxes and he got us going. So that was a great thing as well. You're listening to the RV Life podcast. I'm Dan Hunt with my incredible wife, Patti Hunt, who's home in bed because she was a little bit sick this morning. And my friend Keith Bernard. Right? Keith Bernard, thank you so much. Have a great rest of today and an even better day tomorrow. Okay, we are clear.
That was awesome.